Hello everyone, hopefully you are doing great. In this week our discussion topics are media and social capital theory and cultivation theory. First of all, I am telling about the media and social capital theory. This social capital is a network and in relationships with our community member, and by using these social media platforms we can engage with our neighbor and can make a great community in our social media platforms. Now I'm telling about how these social media platforms can enhance or undermine the social capital with my personal experience. I think the social media platforms at a time can make positive and negative impact in making social capital. How? If we can think about making networking and connectivity with our neighborhood, with our community, then it's so much helpful. Such as when I'm coming in USA, then I have to find out my accommodation, have to find out several information which was needed at that times. Most of the Facebook groups which is related for higher study platforms, higher study in USA, and also accommodation in Stillwater, these types of Facebook groups help me a lot to find out my information, and I can easily get every opportunities in staying in Bangladesh also, and can fulfill all my requirements, and it was a great networking which I find from social media platforms. Not only that, but also in other sectors also, such as Nextdoor, which I learned about newly, that it make interactions with community, and it helps if any neighbor find any trouble with their lost pets and something others, and information gathering, then they can ask in Nextdoor, and Nextdoor helps a lot. So these types of community based or nation based several Facebook groups, educational and every sectors make a great connections in a particular group, particular ages, peoples, or others community sectors. And in this way, it's with a great community, with a great networking, we can explore our experiences, and it's a development scope for us. But it has also some demerits also, such sometimes for media lackings of media literacy and spreading of fake news. Sometimes actually these social media platforms can create some drawbacks for us also. That's if we make example, this COVID-19 session for taking vaccine is misinformation with negativity spread in social media platforms, and in a particular community they think about that it's negative, and if they take it, then they will face several physical problems. So this spreading misinformation sometimes create demerits in social media platforms for in earning these social capitals. Not only that, in social media platforms sometimes it arises one particular community's unrest situation, such as if any community feels that the others minded community go against them, then they actually can make social movements here also, and it also can make demerits for any nation or any situations because of creating these echo chambers, and they only like to take the like-minded people's thought, not the others. So these types of conflict can be happened by these social media platforms. So I think these social media platforms at a time can both negatively can make networking, also can positively can make networking. So it's totally depends us how we can take the social media platforms for consuming anything. But in my case, as in the previous ago, we have faced several students movement in our country in these sectors, these social media platforms, and make interactions and connectivity with whole over the peoples of Bangladesh. In these sections, not only Bangladesh, in whole over the world plays an important role, and the positive outcomes we can find from these types of students movements. It's in these sectors, these social media platforms, basically Facebook, helped a lot for Bangladeshi community. Now I'm telling about how social media platforms if interact with traditional media platforms such as newspaper, television, then how can strengthen the social capital a lot. In my opinion, in any particular community, every persons don't like to engage in social media platforms. They are used to read newspapers or hear podcast. So I think they, if they want to make collaboration between two types of audience, then it will be a great networking and strengthened social capital. So in these types, if any local community or particular groups open any newspapers or podcast session, then at a time they can take interview from community peoples. They can make participants for school children of this community, and at a time they can share it is on particular social media platforms and can engage the young generations also. So in this way, if make any podcast by their preference and also published in any social media platforms, so at a time they can participate here and also can share it in social media platforms, and they can engage both non-user and user of digital media platforms in at a in organizational way. Not only that, they also can take experience video or comment for community people for any particular topic, such as if any organizations or any non-profits wants to develop or want to make informative about any things, then can make campaign or can take experiences video, make documentary. And when people are noticing that they are attending in these types of parts, then they will feel interest to watch these programs in social media platforms also. So I think the engagement of community, the participation of communities people in documentary, interview and experience sharing, storytelling, in voluntary activities, and after that these types of work, if in any social Facebook group or any podcast event, any newspapers, local outlets, if they spread this news in a formal way, at a time they can connect in digital media platforms and can connect in legacy media, and it will be a great collaboration between these two types of media, and it will strengthen the social capital at a time. Now I'm telling about the cultivation theory, how media content can influence the audience for a long time and can change their attitudes. In these questions, in my experiences, I would like to share my genre which I changed by this consuming media content, such as this historical film. I would like to say that from my childhood I used to watch several historical film which is related in British colonial, several collapse related with our liberation war or second war. These types of historical movie I watch a lot, and by watching these types of film, one genre keep in mind that which will be better, which criteria is bad, how they make this genocide and what is the reason. Not only that, it's also creates several political narratives in my mind also, that wow, it's a reason, that's the reason they were killed, and in this way we find our liberation, we find our freedom. So it, I think this make sense for us to make a particular genre for our independence history and other things. So I think film create my understanding level and can create a political narratives about this, that yeah, this is the reason, that is the legitimacy of here. Not only that, in reality show I also used to watch several reality show, and I think about it that as they are presenting here with these customs, they are presenting this dance, so it will be the exact dress code for this dance, and this will be exact presentations way. So they are encouraging their presentation skill, their behavior, and their dress code also influence me that that will be okay and that's a fixed. So I think for making any decisions, for consuming anything, and for making any sense about any narratives, I think media consumptions, it's actually make our tendency to think about in this way. And if we are for a long time heavily watch any particular term, then it makes these types of media consumptions affect in our mind. Now I am telling about the cultivation effects in the era of streaming and social media. Definitely it's quite different. I think it's quite vulnerable also, because in traditional media ages, when this cultivation media theory was published, then times the limited media consumptions was happened, and most of the peoples used to watch the same types of films, same types of news content in television channels, and they also have some scope to make interact with others audience. So I think this limited consumptions, these times the cultivation was so strong and can influence in a particular society at a time with the same content, because as content was limited and the audience used to consume these types of content. But in this digital and streaming media platforms area, now there have Netflix, there have Disney Plus, there is Hulu, and most of the platforms, and we are consuming the vast data content from here. So I think there have we can now have a variety of choice, where we can, if I chose reality shows, some others choosing the film, or they are choosing several crime patrols content. So I think is variety of news outlets, the variety of entertainment contents, the variety of these streaming and social media platforms, this make a great opportunity for audience that to move in anywhere. So they are not just using any particular superfara for watching, they are not consuming any particular things in a particular society. So it's now quite challenging and tough to make find out the strong influence factor, the cultivation factors nowadays. And as there are variety to choice and to consuming, so I think nowadays this cultivation theory don't do the perfect findings and can make a great influence for every person's. If in particular society, if we want to find out their media consumptions habits and changing attitudes, I think that by using this cultivation theory we can't do this, because today it's quite difficult. And as we are watching at a time the reality show crime patrols, not only nationwide but also international wide. So by which content we are influencing, and which contents actually make us to influence and to adopt any media thinking, so it's quite difficult to find out. So I think in these traditional platforms the cultivation process was so strong. Perhaps it can find out the changing attitudes of audience, but nowadays it's quite difficult, and is in various choices. By using this cultivation theory, we can't find out any actual results. Thanks everybody for watching my video. Thanks a lot.